Because all three of these places, easy, super doable. You can live like a king for $2,000 a month still.
The first ones, it's not as bad as Thailand, but you do have to leave every 90 days. So in comparison to the Philippines, which I'm going to give praise to right now.
Pros in Bangkok, maybe easy to find food and it's cheap. Shopping is nice.
Oh yeah, that's true.
For the perfect person to go to the Philippines is usually an older retired American.
Today we're going to talk about three of the best cities in Southeast Asia to live in. Super low budget. We're talking like you're living like a king for under $2,000. Guest today, Will Travels. You probably know him. He's in the most popular interview I've ever put up on the channel. You know him from his YouTube channel where he's a live streamer and also doing travel consulting tips, advice in the Da Nang, Vietnam area. And then last time I had him, we talked a lot about his girlfriend from the Philippines, and y'all asked to see her, so here she is. This is Diane Fluffy. Today we're going to be talking about the three best cities in Southeast Asia. So let's start with Manila.
So basically, Manila is the capital of Philippines. It's just one concrete jungle.
Pros, you're supposed to start with the good stuff. You're trying to sell the people.
That's you will be welcomed by everything that Will loves, like traffic, expensive things. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. We don't do that, but
Okay, so we're starting with the cons. Traffic.
Traffic,
Wi-Fi.
congested, Wi-Fi is not good, transportation not good. What else?
Stuff out of stock.
What's the cost like? So if you were living in the Philippines now and living a similar lifestyle to where we are, what do you think your monthly cost would be like? Food, drink, stuff, transportation, rent?
Maybe 800 to 1,000.
It would probably be more, I'm guessing, definitely over 1,000. We were able to do Cebu for about $900, and Cebu is a decent amount cheaper than Manila. We cooked 70% of the time in Cebu. So if we live the same lifestyle, meaning go out for dinner every single night in Manila, I mean, the food cost would be as much as our rent is here. So I'm saying probably $1,200 at least. $1,200. Our apartment would be smaller. Our apartment wouldn't be as nice. The internet would be slower. Transportation, we walk everywhere that we go to. 99% of the time here in An Thuong, we walk. There, it's much hotter and it's much more spread out. So we couldn't really do that. So I'd say $1,200 at least. What you guys would call a similar lifestyle, but it still would be maybe less quality food, maybe less quality amenities, worrying about a brownout or a blackout, what they call it.
What's the like downtown CBG where the foreigners live in Manila?
BGC or Makati.
BGC Makati. What am I getting for $5? I'm hungry.
In BGC, maybe,
McDonald's.
yeah, you can get something like McDonald's, but we do have a cafeteria type of food there where like it's like lunch meals. Then you can pick one veggie, one meat with rice. That would be we call it a budget meal.
Okay.
Sometimes they serve it with iced tea or soda, so that's something that you can get there.
And that's like under $4?
It's about $2.
Yeah.
If you go to the real local small places, you can get them fairly cheap. You'll never get it as cheap as here. That's
close though. What about transportation? How much if I'm going to Manila for whatever a month for 6 months? What's it cost me to get around the city?
Okay, I'll answer that and then I'll give it to her. But for how we did it, I actually am, I think, one of the rare Americans or Westerners. I don't mind the jeepney. I like the jeepney. I'm not going to say it's my favorite, but I enjoy it. It's cheap and you get on there. The only time it is a little bit of a hassle is like when there's packed. But if it's 70 to 80% packed, it's not that bad. And it's like 15 pesos maybe. So 15 pesos is 30, 40 cents. Now, it doesn't directly drop you off at every stop, but you can kind of say, hey, let me get out here. And then as if you're over 5'5", you got to kind of crawl out and worry about getting out of the back. But actually, man, we took that a lot in the Philippines. But let me just add a quick point to that. So, yeah, I would definitely agree. It's very, very reasonable being the same cost of like a Bangkok or like a Hanoi. But the problem is it's not the same quality. Not the same quality, not the same transportation, not the same food. So you're overpaying in that aspect. But I know the Filipino viewers get mad at me all the time for what I call the truth. But you do get way more English and you can stay there for 3 years without ever leaving. So the visa situation is great, and the English situation is great. So you're kind of paying the premium for the English and never having to leave for 3 years as a tourist. So some people that works out great.
Value-wise, it's hard to put a number on that. One, to not the hassle and the cost of a visa, not having to worry about visa runs, not having to do that. I mean, I had a guy named Mike Abroad on the podcast recently on cost of living abroad. He's been doing visa runs from Koh Samui for 6 years, something like that.
Wow.
Man, I don't want to swear on the channel, but
I'm surprised he's not getting questioned.
He's been dropped. I think he's left and he traveled and been to other places and back. And he's been, I think he said twice now he's been rejected for the DTV visa.
Yep.
I mean, I think people make it out sometimes to be easier to stay in a place than it is. So if it's truly easy to stay in the Philippines, you know, the English language thing, not just your day-to-day life, also socializing, meeting people. What's the real dollar value on that, right? It's big.
I have a profile kind of built in my head of who's perfect for each country, because my profile for the perfect person to go to the Philippines is usually an older retired American that doesn't want to do the bus runs, that doesn't want to go down and get food and have to use Google Translate, and he wants to speak to a lot of people, have a good time. And he goes, you know what, man, it's going to cost me $300 more. You know what? Screw it, man. I'm on retirement. I'm going to pay the $300. I never have to leave. That's who is perfect for the Philippines. Now, if you're a budget, younger guy that doesn't have a problem using Google Translate, or you like going and doing visa runs and you work online, the Philippines is not for you.
Say you're on that, whatever the social security number is, or like you have a military pension, you're getting $1,800, $2,000 a month locked in for the rest of your life. You don't want the hassle of having to learn a new language at all. You want to be able to just do everything direct, not rely on other people to get you help, and you don't want to be lonely. That's big, man. That's a big part of life.
And if you go look, that's basically the profile of the retired portion of people that are in the Philippines.
Okay. And what would you say, let's do a double. What would you say rent would be like? 2-bedroom condo in Cebu or a 2-bedroom condo in, is it BGC or BCG Makata?
BGC is going to be a lot more. We stayed in Cebu for 2 months right near the mall and negotiated. It was on Airbnb, so I dropped him a price and said, hey, if you'll take this, we'll do it. And I think it was $450 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom.
In BGC, usually a 1-bedroom apartment furnished is around 30 to 35,000. No, not even a parking, like just the unit.
And that's not electricity included.
Not electricity included, and water and electricity is expensive in the Philippines.
Regardless of the pros and cons we're debating, though, it does sound to me like pretty clearly you can still live really great. You live really well. If your budget's $2,000, you're living like a king in Manila, right? And if your pros are those things, you're looking for somewhere, ease of language, easy to meet people, you want a fully furnished, walk in, move in tomorrow kind of apartment in a downtown city, maybe lower quality, but also maybe more Western food, I would think.
I think that's one thing as well, because it's easy to get Western food in Manila. We have chains, international chains. We have Shake Shack. I think we also have the burger from Mr. B's. We have Pink's hot dogs. So
you get some of that in Thailand, but definitely none of that in Vietnam, other than KFC and the pizza places.
So yeah, you're gonna spend a lot more, but then you can kind of customize it. And it just all depends on your budget. Now, if you're on $1,000 budget, you can't get the Starlink. You can't get the backup generator. You can't get these things. So if you have money, it's kind of just like even in USA, man. If you're in USA, you can buy things to make the creature comforts feel more comfortable.
Right, but it's way more affordable still than America, right? So you're getting a closer version of your lifestyle in the States for $2,000, but in the States it's going to be $4,000, $5,000. So it is still a real fantastic option. I have a Catholic background. I used to live in Mexico. That's another thing. I mean, if you have any kind of Christian Catholic connection, heritage, for sure, that's another huge pro of being in the Philippines. I think too, more extroverted, right? It's not just language. I think the culture in the Philippines is literally more
Western culture,
more social and extroverted. Vietnamese people and Thai people are incredibly friendly, but especially in Vietnam, they're much more introverted. It's not as outgoing of a culture. So I've spent a ton of time in Bangkok the last 15 years. You've spent a ton of time in Bangkok. I still think of Bangkok in some sense as my dream city. You know, it's the first big city I came to in Asia.
Yep.
It's changed a hell of a lot in 15 years, but you can live there like a king for $2,000 if you want, man. I mean, you can also spend $100,000 a year in Bangkok.
Regarding the Bangkok part,
Yeah, let's get into Bangkok.
yeah, so we lived in Bangkok, I think probably for about 7 or 8 months straight. So shockingly, I lived there for so long, but I've never stayed in a condo or an apartment. We ended up getting an amazing deal on a hotel, 90 square meter hotel, which is out insanely big.
Yeah.
Huge bedroom, 2 bathrooms, and a living room. The only thing it was missing was a kitchen. We got a great deal. We got along with the general manager. He kept it for us even when stuff was being booked. He always had the room for us. I don't think we would ever get that deal again. Our rent basically was about $900, and that's staying at a hotel that was huge. Now I know we could have paid a lot less to stay like maybe further away, but we were in the perfect neighborhood and we always had it, and it just made sense to us. And I spent under $1,200 a month there.
Where BTS were you at? Like which station? Where were you in the? So Bangkok has fantastic public transit. We don't. You really don't even need to talk about getting around there because for a few dollars a day, although it will be very, very, very busy at rush hour. Like if you have to commute at a work hour, it's a write-off. If you're going, you know, if you're working remote or if you're tired or whatever, you can travel in the off hours. Incredible, cheap, air-conditioned, modern. It's phenomenal. You can, literally the whole extended city too, not just the downtown core.
We stayed in BTS Nana, so we were right there.
Bananas. But it's also right on Sukhumvit. Is it near Sukhumvit 20 or something? It's really in the heart of downtown Bangkok. I mean, you can walk to the big park from there too.
Yep.
Bangkok's not, I wouldn't call it walkable. It's safe to walk, but it's the way it's laid out.
It's hot.
It's hot. It's not that walkable.
Yeah, it's not walkable. And the BTS is too cheap. So we lived in the heart of Sukhumvit there. And people are going to assume like, oh, this guy parties. Like, I don't drink. I don't go out. Something that you touched on earlier. When I got to Bangkok, Bangkok just gives you this nice vibe. That's a huge reason why I love Bangkok. The BTS, the vibe, the food, there's so much stuff about it. It's the same equivalent that I tell people. When I went to Europe back in 2019, when I got to Paris, I felt like I was in Europe. And then they have the nice big park there, the park where Fluffy gets scared of the big dragons that walk around.
I'll get B-roll of the Komodo dragons.
I couldn't believe them. They were just walking around, and like we wanted to get in the little swan lake, and we just see them swimming out there.
Do you guys have vlog videos that you guys should walk them?
Oh, we have some
we gotta find
Instagram
that
ones.
footage.
What's crazy is like when you go to that park, like there's benches, but like sometimes you want to you want to lay on the grass, you can't.
These are like at least 6 foot long plus the tail, man.
The crazy part about it is like what I still don't understand. I didn't really know about them coming from USA, but then when you look them up, they're like, oh, they're very dangerous and they're wild, and then you're just like, why the hell are they just wandering around next to my feet over here?
So Fluffy, you tell me your opinion on Bangkok. What are you eating in Bangkok? What's your go-to Thai foods?
My go-to Thai food, I would get pad Thai, of course, but I like the suki better than the pad Thai.
Okay.
And then I like fried rice too, and oyster omelette.
Ooh, that's one of my wife's favorites. I like the oyster omelet and larb, like the beef, the like ground beef, chopped beef one.
Yeah, I like that.
What do you think you're spending on like your ideal lunch?
I would just get the pad Thai, which is just like 50 baht, 60.
Let's say about $2.
Now, I would say Manila is going to be cheaper than Bangkok, but not BGC. BGC is at least as much.
Okay, so let's do one more gut check though. Manila does not have as bad a pollution as Bangkok, does it? I don't think it does. Bangkok's notorious. Hanoi is worse. Hanoi's the worst.
We don't really check that index, honestly.
That's not on the money scale.
We don't check that index.
Fluffy, what are your 3 pros, rapid fire Bangkok, 3 negatives Bangkok?
Pros in Bangkok, maybe easy to find food and it's cheap. Shopping is nice.
Oh yeah, that's true. My wife would say that. Bangkok shopping
is nice. That's not a con. Shopping is not. That's not a con.
Easy to come up with 3 pros in Bangkok.
Yeah, but easy to come up with the 3 pros and parks. I love the open parks. Yeah,
They're so
I like
beautiful.
that. Yeah, and like you can just you don't really have to do sightseeing in Bangkok. You just walk and like
And public transit.
public transit.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think rent's gone up a lot, but Bangkok's got a lot of pros. Okay, what
Yeah.
about the cons? What don't you like about Bangkok?
Maybe I can't really speak the language.
Okay, yeah, language barrier still.
Yeah, and then they would always say like Thai, no Filipino. You look Thai, but that's one thing because like it's nice to travel and communicate with people.
Makes
That's
a
one con. Sometimes you still get scamming.
Yep.
So yeah, you get overpriced and scam in Bangkok too. And I think traffic, but they have solved the traffic with the BTS.
Well, you should also say it's like uncontested. Bangkok has the best nightlife out of anywhere we're talking about,
yeah.
and it's not even close. There isn't really. If you want nightlife,
Yeah.
like, there's nowhere in the region in
Yeah.
the same fucking planet as Bangkok. Bangkok's a world-class nightlife city.
Yeah. Cons.
Look, I can't keep the smile off my face. All those memories.
He's like a
from
kid in a candy
10
store.
years ago.
So we'll get on to the cons. The cons are pretty simple for me. It's probably, in my estimation, I haven't been there in a year and a half, but I would say 20 to 30% more expensive per month than Da Nang. That's one. The visa situation, that's a big one for me. 60 days now, which might be going down to 30 days.
I heard 30. Yeah, it might be going to 30 soon.
Who knows? And then even if they stay at 60, you're going to get questioned. Like you said, you're going to get
they're serious about
questioned
it,
if
for
you
sure.
do 2 or 3 visa runs. You're going to get questioned. I would probably agree. I would say the language. The language. I would say Bangkok has more English than Da Nang, but I would say overall probably the language or the heat.
Yeah, so one of my cons, I have to at least mention, it's the same with Ho Chi Minh City. It's not the same in Da Nang. I don't know with the Philippines. The airport situation. Bangkok has a big, beautiful, incredible new airport, and it also has an old budget airport.
Yeah.
And if you're a Southeast Asia traveler like we are and actually located here, you're probably flying in through Don Muang.
DMK.
It sucks. It's the only good thing about it is the cheap 7-Eleven. It's got an old school taxi line with like a stub system, like it's 1975 Mexico City. You basically have to take a taxi in, even if you're just one person. They're going to immediately ask you to pay for the toll road, which you also basically have to do because otherwise it takes forever. The BTS doesn't really go there. That is a downside, and it's definitely a downside about Ho Chi Minh City too, but not about Da Nang, which, spoiler, that's going to be our third city we talk about. So I'll put up a budget graphic for Manila that I think would be around 15 to 1800, or maybe less, 12 to 1500.
12 to 1500.
12 to 1500. Bangkok, I think realistically for the sort of, living well classic lifestyle now, you're definitely pushing up 15 to 1800. And then our last city, we're going to talk about Da Nang, where all three of us have settled for now. Prices have not gone up, and they're not going to go up based on a couple Americans like us. 95% of the tourists in Vietnam are still from Asia. Let's go the opposite way. I'll kick it off. Here's a big con of Da Nang. Da Nang's in an absolute construction boom. There's like 300 cranes up in the city and hundreds of hotels being built, including directly across the street from us right now. And I promise you, it has nothing to do with a couple of small YouTubers like me and Will. There's a huge plan to build a massive tourist industry here, and it's happening, and it's under construction right now. So it's loud, it's noisy, there's construction. A guy who I did a consult with who came over here just last week, I put him in a place where I put other people before, a beautiful little service apartment. Well, literally when he was there, they tore down the place next door. He had to move rooms and stuff. And it's a place that I'm not going to name the place. It's a fantastic place where other people have stayed before, but you can't predict that.
Yeah, you can't control that.
He checked in and 7 a.m. the next morning, jackhammers out. In Da Nang right now, today, 2 Marriott hotels, 2 Wink hotels, an Intercontinental hotel, a Sheraton hotel. What am I missing? The blue one, Ocean Villas. There's about 12 massive, 1,000-room international hotel chains in the city already. So we started negative with Da Nang, just because I'm taking the piss out of people.
Yeah.
But let's go into the pros. Let's start with Fluffy. What are your 3 pros of living in Da Nang, Vietnam?
Living near the beach is a good one. I feel more upgraded apartment. What else? People are nice. They would smile. Even if they don't understand you that much. If you get to know them, they would smile at you. Or if you're someone familiar, they smile at you. Accommodating here. I like it. People, area, and upgraded, more upgraded. money.
And cheap.
Cheap.
And the cost of living. Yeah, the cost of living, I think it doesn't go without saying, but it's a fact that it's more affordable here. You two live in a $550 apartment, spitting distance from what might be one of the most beautiful beaches in all of Asia. It's stunning. 20-kilometer beach. It goes all the way to Hoi An. It's the same beach, all the way to the Lady Buddha on the other end. What would you say, what's your food budget here? I know we've been over this before, but...
Well, just to say, we did negotiate, and that 550 is down to 480 now. So I did negotiate. That was on the new video.
Prices are going up, not down, Will.
So apparently you guys give me bad time, but apparently I'm one of the only people that negotiate and get my price down.
I think I've been doing the math wrong on television, on YouTube for a while. We pay 13 million, which is like just, I always say I pay 600. I actually paid just over $500 for a 3-story, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house.
Food is very, very cheap here. We basically have it where we go out. I mostly don't eat breakfast. Like even today we got up somewhat early, which was like 10 o'clock. So breakfast, it just kind of goes by. Lunch, very cheap. It's either, I guess, whatever rice and egg and some toast is, or we'll go grab a banh mi. So that first meal of the day is extremely cheap, under $1, I would say. Then every day we will go out to dinner every single day. We usually go to a local place 5 times out of 7 nights. And last night we went to the Thai restaurant. Twice a week we'll go to Western food. And our total monthly food budget here is as low as $200, sometimes as high as $220, $225.
You know, as far as like geo arbitrage, if you're coming here with US dollars, which most of the viewers are, to buy food, I ordered Indian food 2 nights ago for my family. And same thing, we only do that maybe once a week, but we ordered Indian food on Grab, 3 different kind of breads, biryani, 2 curries, yada yada, and it was free because my wife paid for it. But my wife was like, it was under 500K, and she was all fired up. Meaning it was under $20 for a big meal that fed 3 adults, 2 kids, and leftovers. And like that's pretty regular. Like when I go for a meal, like if we go for a fancy dinner here and it's $1 million dong, which is $40 US, I'm like pretty surprised.
Yeah.
No, I'm not like angry or anything, but that's just surprising. Like it's pros weather, also beautiful Hoi An, beautiful beaches, tourist stuff to do. There's not like going out exciting stuff like Bangkok, but there's like outdoor stuff.
Yeah.
Drive up to Hai Van Pass.
More natural stuff.
Yeah, walking around the rice fields, cruising down the Coconut River. It's not an exciting nightlife place though. That's definitely a con. It's not, there isn't like stuff to do to go out at night. And then even like the bar strip here in Antung is 200 meters long and a half dozen bars. If you're the kind of person that wants to be in a bar every night, you better go to Bangkok.
If you're looking for a nightlife, if you're looking for a date or dates, then it's going to be much tougher in Da Nang for many, many reasons. That's what keeps Da Nang a little cheap because a lot of the guys that are from Bangkok or Ho Chi Minh, they don't come here. They say, Da Nang is too boring. It's too boring, man. I can't do it. Da Nang, I love the vibe of Da Nang. It's for a California guy.
Okay, let's do though, to make sure people know we are actually being honest. Each of you, Fluffy first, give me the 3 downsides, the 3 negatives of living in Da Nang. Then Will give his 3. Then we'll wrap it all up for you, tell you where we think the best spots are for who.
Wow, I don't know any cons. You go first. I don't really have any con. Maybe I would say nightlife. We also have a nightlife in Manila. It's a fun nightlife. If you're like tired of Bangkok, maybe you could go to Manila because we have a good nightlife there. Maybe loud and expensive, but I'm sure you'd have fun in Manila. Nightlife, it's a quiet nightlife here.
Very quiet.
That's all.
There's like a couple backpacker hostels in Hoi An, which is not Da Nang, it's 20 kilometers from here. And what are some of the other cons?
So she tried to steal some of mine. The first ones, it's not as bad as Thailand, but you do have to leave every 90 days. So in comparison to the Philippines, which I'm going to give praise to right now, if you guys stuck around this long, for all the Filipino viewers usually turn me off. So it's nowhere near as good as the Philippines visa. But every 90 days, I got to get on a bus or a plane. I always do the bus. It's cheapest, quickest option. So that's a con, language. So just little things. Sometimes, like when I just ask for chili, I like eating the spicy chilies here. Last night, we have to Google and show them a picture of it. So it's not as easy. And the third con, I would probably say, this is kind of a throughout Asia con. Stuff is not open when it says it's open on Google, or some stuff we'll go get, hey, where's our banh mi? Why is it closed today? What the hell? Go to the store. Why is it closed? What happened? Like just the sense of, hey, like it's just closed. Like, deal with it.
You're not going to a public hospital in Vietnam. You should not. The language barrier is too great. It's not a good idea. There's a very good chance they won't take your international insurance anyways. By the way, I'm a Safety Wing affiliate now, so if you want Nomad insurance, check that link out below. They have a cool cost calculator so you can figure out how much you have to pay. It's pretty great for anyone under 70. Let's do a wrap up with like a checklist. Manila, Bangkok, Da Nang. Which one has the best housing?
Da Nang, then Bangkok, Manila.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd probably, I guess it depends on what you consider best. So some people like having a pool and a spa in their complex. That's much more rare here in Da Nang, but it's going to be much more costlier. For me, I don't care about the pool or the spa, so that's kind of irrelevant. Because in Bangkok, you'll get a pool, a spa, all the amenities, but a smaller place for more expensive in Bangkok. For me, I'd rather take the bigger, less amenities place. So I would say the same way, Da Nang, Bangkok, Manila, but I know a lot of people that would probably put Bangkok up there in front of Da Nang because of the amenities and the sky view, and we have an infinity pool, which all that stuff doesn't matter. So in my case, Da Nang, Bangkok, Manila.
I would say, yeah, for me, Bangkok has the better housing, but again, qualified. Da Nang has the best value housing. Yep. Food, are you sticking with your 51 Thai, 49 Vietnam, 0% Filipino?
No. So that is probably going to be my order, though. I'm going to
buy a Filipino.
But I am going to go, Thailand. And people are going to say, oh, I like this. The reason why I say Thailand is because of the overall all foods. You go from the 7-Eleven to the next level of street food, to the next level of local restaurants, to the next level of mall food, to the next level of high-end food. Bangkok has Vietnam beat in all those categories. Like if you come to street food, I love banh mi's, but they don't have fried rice out here on the street. They don't have many different things. So I'm going to go Thailand. I'm going to go Bangkok. And I'm going to say this about the Philippines. So some people are going to take this as a negative. Some are going to take it as a positive. It's a very hit or miss for me. There's some stuff that I love in the Philippines, and then a lot of the stuff I hate. So there's not much middle ground. A viewer kind of posted it and said, everything's either fried or soaked in a brown gray sauce in the Philippines. So that's kind of the thing. So Thailand, Vietnam, the Philippines.
Okay, so I'm going to go. I've had great Filipino food back home in Toronto, but it's still number 3. Thailand is number 2. I love Thai food, one of the best food places in the world, but they don't have the variety for me. It's too much. It's too heavy. It's just heavy spice, heavy. And Vietnam is the best food in the world as far as I'm concerned. It's my favorite. I love you. That's a kiss from my wife. Wonderful cook. Ooh, and my mother-in-law. God, my mother-in-law can cook so well, but you're not going to get the home cooking. Bonus points, Vietnam has the best coffee in the world too. So yeah, how about your dream? You can live, if money's no option, say you have that 2,000, because all 3 of these places, easy, super doable. You can live like a king for $2,000 a month still, no problem. So money is no problem. We have we each have $2,000 a person, $6,000 between the 3 of us. Which city do you live in?
Out of those 3.
Yeah. Manila, Bangkok, Da Nang. $2,000 hitting your bank account, not Will's, just you. Individually, every single
Maybe
month.
I would still go for Bangkok.
Oh, Bangkok.
I miss Bangkok.
Okay.
Like I promised that I'll go there every year. I did it. We stayed there for a while, 22, 23. 24, I went there for 10 days. But I haven't done it for 25. So I want to go Bangkok.
All right, Will, you got to choose. $2,000. Money is no option. I know all you're concerned with is the budgets on your channel, but this time
No budget.
$2,000. You hit Social Security from the U.S. at 65. Bangkok, Manila, Da Nang. Where do you pick?
Boy, that's a tough one. With a larger budget, brings up Bangkok a lot higher in my book, but I don't know if it wins. Bangkok doesn't have the beach. Bangkok doesn't have the laid back vibe. And technically, I don't know if I would still, I guess I could technically get the retirement visa,
Sure, you
depending
got
on
money.
how old.
Money's no option.
If money was no option, then that would kind of make a difference. But I still think it's a coin flip for me. I think probably depends on which day you ask me. But if I was just forced to put it right now, I think Da Nang edges it out 51-49. But maybe if you ask me tomorrow, maybe Bangkok wins 51. So very, very, very close. Like it could go either way. It's evenly matched up. But I think if I'm held to pick one, I think it's Da Nang. It could easily switch to Bangkok depending on the situation. But Da Nang, I'm gonna say.
Rubber match. One vote Bangkok, one vote Da Nang.
Here's the big one.
I've never been to Manila,
Ah,
so I can't vote for Manila, and that means, and without a doubt, come on, I love Vietnam. I love it here. I'm here because I choose to be here. I could live other places if I really wanted to. I would make it work. I'd figure out a way. I think right now, at this point in my life, not 25-year-old Evan A. 25-year-old Evan A. is in Bangkok without blinking because of the nightlife, but 40-year-old Evan with the family, with a wife, with kids, Da Nang, man. I love this place. It's beautiful, it's clean, it's safe. And though there are some cons like the traffic and the noise and the construction, it's easily weighed out by the pros like the affordability, the safety, the cleanliness, the great airport, and the wonderful people and food.
I was kind of hoping that you were gonna pick Bangkok because now we're gonna have all those guys saying these guys are just some the shills to get you to come to Vietnam, and it's like no, like I literally love all these cities, but people are gonna say, hey, they're pushing Da Nang, they're pushing Da Nang.
Speaking of which, if you want to come to Da Nang, Vietnam, and you're planning a trip, click the link below to book an intro call with me.
He's my competition now. Everyone's this guy's my competition.
The most recent videos here. I'll link Will's channel right here. And my podcast, The Cost of Living Abroad, right here. Thanks so much for coming on, you two.